Hi, Shane here. You're watching Sam for God, and this is Mark. Check her out.
So hi guys, how are you doing? Seeing as it was the Oscars the other night and a Disney song won the best song in the Oscars, Let It Go from Frozen won best song and I was very happy about that. It made me think of other Disney songs that I really love and just other general Disney scores that I love. So I thought I'd make a video of my top 10 favourite Disney scores of all time, and they are only going to be songs from Disney animation films. I'm excluding any film that's got live action in it, so like Mary Poppins for instance is not included in this because that would have been too difficult, and also I'm not including any Pixar films either, so it's just Disney animated films and I hope that you know what I mean with that. Anyway, I still had quite a tough time trying to put them all in order in like a top 10 list, but I think I finally made my decision and I'm going to share it with you, and I look forward to seeing if you agree with me or not and what your thoughts are on my top 10. Right, so at number 10 I've put Snow White. Now this might seem like a bit of an odd choice because not many people really rave about Snow White's score that much, but I don't know what it is for me, but I really like it. It's got some really classic songs in it that I enjoy listening to. And it's like the song Someday My Prince Will Come, for instance, is one of my favourite songs. I really enjoy listening to it. And Adriana's voice on it, Adriana Casalotti, who voiced Snow White, she's got such a sweet, loving voice. It's very unique, I think. It's just like whenever I hear that song, it kind of makes me feel really good for some reason. It's the same with Whistle While You Work. That's a really fun song that I always listen to when I'm cleaning my room or doing any kind of work. It puts me in a good mood straight away. And then obviously Hi Ho, that's a fun song. It can be annoying as well, but I think it's quite a fun song personally. So yeah, I love it. I think, like I said, Adriana's sweet voice makes it really special when the songs are pretty good, considering it came out quite a long time ago, the film. Anyway, at number 9, I've put Mulan. Now Mulan as a film, I don't think is one of my favourites, but the score for Mulan I think is really, really good. Even the instrumental bits in it are amazing. And it does have some pretty awesome songs in it, like I'll Make a Man Out of You. I think that's such a fun, amazing song. It's just impossible to listen to it and not want to sing along with it. It's so good. And then there's obviously Reflection, which is just like a really good ballad. It's just a good song overall, and I think the lyrics in it are really good. It's just a song about identity, self-identity, and being true to who you are, and the fact that obviously Christina Aguilera covered it, I think made it really famous and popular, and Lea Salonga's voice as well, who obviously, you know, voiced Mulan, she's incredible as well, so it's a good score, I love it. Right, at number 8, I've put Beauty and the Beast. I know that this might be a big shock to a lot of people because a lot of people would put Beauty and the Beast a lot higher up in the list, but I don't really know. I just, you know, you have to remember that it's just personal taste, and although I do love Beauty and the Beast and the music in it, it's not one of my favourites, and so yeah, that's pretty much why it's kind of number 8 on my list and not number 1 or 2. It does have some quality songs in it though, and obviously it was made by Alan Menken, who's like a big Disney composer, and Howard Ashman as well, you know, they did the score together, and it's a beautiful score. Be Our Guest, for instance, is again a classic, fun Disney song that I think everybody loves. And then of course there's Beauty and the Beast, the main ballad in the film, that is just beautiful. Nobody can argue with that. It's one of the most beautiful ballads ever written, I think, and it's just lovely. I think the lyrics in it as well, it's about the blossoming love between two opposite characters, you know, Belle and Beauty. Wait, Beauty and the Beast. And I love it, it's beautiful, and I personally really love Celine Dion's version as well, I think, because she's got such a beautiful voice, and you know, I think Celine Dion's vocals are pretty much unmatchable in the world. Nobody can sing like Celine does, and yeah, I mean, obviously the version in the film as well is beautiful. It's a beautiful song, and the instrumental bits in Beauty and the Beast as well are really, really lovely, so yeah, that's my number 8. At number 7 is Frozen. Now again, some people might be a bit annoyed at me for not putting Frozen a bit higher up, but you know, bear in mind that Frozen only recently came out, and I think if I listen to it more and see the film more, then it might go up a bit, but I still love it. I mean, number 7 is still good, it's in my top 10. And yeah, I think Frozen is one of the, I mean, everybody would agree, I think, with me, that it's one of the best recent Disney films that have come out, and the score for it is incredible. Obviously, Robert Lopez, who wrote the score for it, the songs for it anyway, is incredible. He's one of my favourite composers anyway. I mean, he did Avenue Q, which is one of my favourite musicals of all time, and I love the songs in that, and he also did Book of Mormon. So I love him as a composer. I think he's a great composer. You know, the music that he writes is amazing, and that goes for Frozen as well. I love Let It Go. It's one of the best Disney songs ever, I think. Of course, everybody would agree with me, I think, and you know, it won the Oscars the other night, and yeah, the other songs in it as well. I mean, Do You Want to Build a Snowman? I think that's such a cute song about two sisters and the bond between them, and even Olaf's song, In Summer, I think that's a really fun song. It's just got some great songs in it, and I love it, and I can't wait to see Frozen again when it comes on DVD, because I've been wanting to go back. I saw it twice in the cinema, but I really want to see it again, so hopefully I will when it comes on DVD. At number 6, I've put Aladdin. Aladdin, again, is not one of my favourite films, I don't think. Even growing up, I don't think it was one of the films I watched a lot. But I do love the songs in it. I think there's no doubt that it's got some of the best Disney songs in the film. It's one of the most fun and light-hearted Disney soundtracks, in my opinion, but it's also got a nice ballad, like a duet, the A Whole New World, obviously everybody loves that song. Again, Alan Menken is incredible. He's an incredible composer. I don't understand how he writes all these amazing songs, but you know, again, Prince Ali and Arabian Nights, they're all just Friend Like Me, they're all such good songs. Aladdin is just a fun score, you know, and A Whole New World is one of the best Disney songs of all time, I think. So yeah, there you go, that's my number 6. Right, it's time for my top 5 now, getting all exciting. At number 5, I've put The Little Mermaid. Again, the Little Mermaid score was written by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman. It was a collaboration between the two of them. And it's just such a good score. There's so many different musical styles in that score, in my opinion, that it just makes it really lovable. Part of Your World is, again, one of the best Disney songs of all time. And then Under the Sea, even though I don't personally listen to it a lot, but whenever I do listen to it, it just makes me so happy. It puts a big smile on my face because it's such a fun song. Under the Sea, Under the Sea. I mean, how can you not like that song? And then there's Kiss the Girl as well. That's another fun song. It's just a great score. I do love The Little Mermaid, the score for it anyway, and I think it definitely deserves number 5 on my list. It's a great score and it's a great film as well. Right, at number 4 I've put Pocahontas. Now, the score for Pocahontas was written by Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz, two incredible composers. I mean, Alan Menken is obviously amazing, everybody knows him, but Stephen Schwartz, he wrote the score for Wicked, the musical. And put them together and you get this incredible score of incredible songs like The Colours of the Wind and Just Around the River Bend. They're such beautiful songs. I love those songs so much, those two songs, that I don't even care about the rest of the score for Pocahontas. Those 2 songs alone, I think justify for me to put Pocahontas in my top 5 and as my 4th favourite score for Disney films. They're both such beautiful songs, especially Colours of the Wind. I mean, the lyrics in it as well, not just the song itself, but the lyrics in it I love so much, just about how to respect the world around you, and just, I don't know, I love both of those songs a lot, and I definitely think it's one of the best Disney scores of all time, and it's one of my favourite films as well, Pocahontas, actually, favourite Disney films. A lot of people don't like it because of the historical inaccuracies in it, but I don't care. It's a Disney film, it's not meant to be completely accurate, and I do love it, and I love the score for it. It is beautiful. So it's time for my top 3 now. Now, before I go into my top 3, I do have to say that it took me a long time to put my top 3 into order, and I'm still not sure if I've done the right thing with my top 3. I do love them a lot, the three scores, all 3 of them, and I think they're very close to each other, but obviously I had to make a list, so I did have to put them in order in the end. But yeah, anyway, let's get to it. At number 3, I've put The Lion King. I mean, how can you not like the score for The Lion King? It is one of the best scores of all time. Not just with Disney films, but just one of the best scores ever. It's composed by Elton John, who I absolutely love as a composer and a musician, and Tim Rice, who did the lyrics for it. And all the songs in it are incredible, they really are. I mean, there's the unforgettable opening of Circle of Life, which is one of the coolest songs ever in any film and musical, and it's so good. But then there's also the very moving and touching song, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, which a lot of people say is overrated, but I love it. I do love it. I think it's a great song. And then of course you also have the incredibly catchy and fun Hakuna Matata that is impossible not to like. It's just, whenever I listen to that, or whenever I just try and sing it, it makes me happy, and I really do forget about my worries, which is the main point of the song. I think I probably would have put The Lion King a bit higher up if I was considering the musical version of it, because there are some additional songs in the musical Lion King that weren't in the film, but even with the songs that are in the film, I think it definitely deserves to be in my top 3, and it's one of the best scores and one of the best films of all time, I think. Right, so at number 2, I've put Tarzan. I think the score for Tarzan is just phenomenal. I love Phil Collins as a singer and an artist and a composer anyway, and I can listen to his songs that aren't Disney related anyway. I love all his stuff. But what he's done for Tarzan is just incredible. He's definitely put his stamp on the film, and all the songs that he's written for the film, I mean, like Two Worlds, which is one of my favourite songs of all time, not even just with Disney, but one of my favourite songs ever. And You Will Be in My Heart, which won an Oscar and is, I think, one of the most bought or downloaded songs of all time. Strangers Like Me. I mean, there are just so many incredible songs in Tarzan that I think it definitely deserves to be my number 2. And obviously Phil Collins' voice is so wonderful. I love his voice. He's got such an amazing tone to it, and he sings with so much emotion that I think it makes the songs even more emotional and even more believable for the film. And yeah, I love the Tarzan score, I really do. Even on iTunes, all the songs from Tarzan are some of my most played songs of all time, so yeah, I do love it, and I really love Tarzan as a film as well, so I think that kind of helps. But yeah, Tarzan, the score for that is incredible. I love it. I adore it. Right, so it's time for my number 1 top favourite Disney score of all time, and that title for me goes to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The Hunchback of Notre Dame as a film and a score is one of my favourites of all time. I think it's pretty underrated, to be honest, both as a film and a score. It's got some phenomenal songs in it, and even the instrumental bits in the film are so wonderful. The Bells of Notre Dame, for instance, is just like heaven in your ears. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love it. Topsy Turvy, such a fun song. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, I love it. The score for this, for the Hunchback of Notre Dame, I think is just beautiful, and it does have some kind of more poppy, classic style Disney songs in it as well, like Out There, for instance. That's very Disney style, and that's a great song. But I particularly love the kind of very French Notre Dame songs in it, like you know, the Bells of Notre Dame and Topsy Turvy, and there's also the more ballady songs in the film, like God Help the Outcast and Someday. It's just a beautiful score. I really can't explain how much I love the score for The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean, The Hunchback of Notre Dame is just one of my favourite scores and films of all time, I think. It might actually be my favourite Disney film of all time, to be honest. I just love it so much, and I think it does also have a nostalgic connection with me, because I think I was about 9 when the film first came out, and I was in Disneyland Paris that year when it came out, and because obviously The Hunchback of Notre Dame is set in Paris and Disneyland is in Paris, the one I went to anyway, they made a big deal out of it, and there were so many kind of Hunchback of Notre Dame things in the park that year. Sorry, I got a text. But yeah, I remember they had a massive parade of Hunchback of Notre Dame that year, and you know, the songs were just in the parks all the time, so I think maybe that's one of the reasons I love it so much, because of that nostalgia. But I just think it's a great film anyway, and a great score, an incredible score, and again, Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz did an incredible job with the score for this. I love it. So yeah, that was my #1 favourite score, a Disney score. But obviously, like I said, this is just my opinion, so you may have different opinions, you probably do. And I'd love to hear them, so please feel free to leave comments down below, and I'll discuss them with you, and we can have like a nice discussion of Disney scores. And yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! I think I just tend to love Disney scores that are very unique and specific to a certain film. Scores that are very distinctive, scores that when you listen to you just immediately know what film they belong to. That's why I really love Tarzan and the Hunchback of Notre Dame scores, because they're so unique. You know, all the other songs, all the Disney scores seem to be quite similar in some ways, but these two, I think, are very, very unique, and The Lion King as well to some extent. So yeah, these are my top 10 Disney scores basically.